Hello Muslim friends in the world. In a small town in Montana, United States, there was a monastery called the Santa Maria Monastery. This monastery was known for the simplicity of life led by the nuns who devoted themselves to God. Among them was a young nun named Sister Catherine. Sister Catherine was born into a humble family in Kansas. From a young age, she was known as a compassionate and caring girl. At the age of 18, she felt a deep calling to dedicate her life to God. Despite doubts from her family, especially her mother, who hoped Catherine would become a nurse, she remained steadfast in her conviction. At the Santa Maria Monastery, Catherine's days were filled with prayer, meditation, and service work. Every morning at 5, she would wake up to attend morning mass with the other nuns. Afterward, she worked in the kitchen, preparing simple meals for the homeless who visited the monastery every Sunday. Catherine's diligence and faithfulness drew the attention of many, including Father Gregory, the local church leader. He often praised Catherine for her humility and sincere spirit of service. One day, Father Gregory asked her to help manage an educational program for underprivileged children in the area. Although initially lacking confidence, Catherine accepted the task with an open heart. She began teaching children how to read, write, and learn values of love and kindness. Catherine also spent time playing with them and listening to their stories. She became like a mother to children who had no families. One winter night, an extraordinary event changed everything. A massive fire broke out in the Santa Maria Monastery's church, caused by an electrical short circuit in one of the rooms. The nuns quickly evacuated, but the fire spread rapidly, consuming the main part of the church. Despite her fear, Sister Catherine re-entered the church to save some sacred items and religious texts. Amid the thick smoke and searing heat, she stumbled upon something unusual. On a small shelf in the church's corner, there was a Qur'an that remained unscathed, even though all other books around it had turned to ash. With trembling hands, Catherine took the Qur'an and carried it outside. She was astonished to see the book intact, without any signs of damage, as if it had been protected by an unseen force. After the fire was extinguished, Catherine felt an urge to open the Qur'an. Carefully, she began reading it. Her eyes paused on a page containing Surah Maryam. Catherine was astonished to see the name Maryam, whom she knew as Mary, the mother of Jesus, written in the book. She began reading the translation of the surah intently. Catherine was deeply moved by how the Qur'an described Maryam, Mary, as a pure, chosen, and blessed woman. The story of Jesus, Prophet Isa's miraculous birth, without a father, left her in awe. That night, she couldn't sleep. The words of Surah Maryam echoed in her mind. How could a book from another religion hold such reverence for Mary and Jesus, whom I have always believed in? She wondered. Days passed, and Catherine started delving deeper into the Qur'an. She sought to learn about Islam and understand its views on God, the prophets, and life. Catherine felt that Islam did not negate her faith but rather complemented it. She discovered that the Qur'an teaches the absolute oneness of God, a concept she had often questioned in her heart. She also began to understand that Jesus, Isa, was a prophet sent to deliver a message of truth, not God or the Son of God. After months of deep spiritual searching, Catherine made a monumental decision. She left the monastery and sought guidance from the Muslim community in a nearby town. There, she met a scholar who patiently answered all her questions and guided her in understanding Islam. One bright morning, in the presence of the scholar and a few witnesses, Sister Catherine recited the shahadah, the Islamic declaration of faith. She officially embraced Islam and chose a new name, Maryam, in honor of the holy woman who had inspired her journey. Maryam then dedicated her life to dawah, building bridges of understanding between Muslims and Christians. She often said, "I did not leave God. I found Him more clearly." Islam is the answer to the prayers of my lifelong search. The Santa Maria Monastery church, mostly destroyed in the fire, was left abandoned for several months after the incident. The remaining nuns relocated elsewhere, and the building was no longer in use. However, Maryam felt that the site held significant meaning, not only for her but also for the surrounding community. With newfound courage rooted in her faith, Maryam petitioned the town council to take over the burned church. She presented her vision to transform the site into a mosque that could serve as a hub for worship and social service for the local community. Initially, her idea faced strong opposition. Some local Christians were opposed, considering it a disrespect to the church's history. But Maryam refused to give up. She approached the community members one by one, explaining her intentions with an open heart. She emphasized that the mosque would not only be a place of worship but also a center for social programs serving everyone, regardless of their religion. Maryam's humble personality and sincere attitude gradually softened many hearts. Some residents who were initially skeptical eventually supported her idea. In fact, a few local Christians even donated funds to help renovate the building. Within less than a year, the former church was transformed into a beautiful mosque, named Masjid Maryam. The name was chosen to honor Maryam, Mary, a figure revered in both Islam and Christianity. Masjid Maryam became more than a place of worship, it became a center for social and educational activities. Maryam initiated programs such as free meals for the homeless, Qur'an study classes, and interfaith dialogues inviting leaders from various beliefs. She envisioned the mosque as a symbol of peace and unity, not division. The inauguration of Masjid Maryam was a historic moment. Residents from diverse religious backgrounds gathered to witness and celebrate the transformation of the building. Maryam stood at the pulpit, delivering an emotional speech. This building was once a house of God for many, and now, by His will, it remains His house, but in a new form, she said with a trembling voice. May Masjid Maryam be a place where all of us, regardless of our faith, can learn about love, peace, and justice. The story of Maryam and Masjid Maryam became an inspiration to many, not just in the small town but across the nation. Maryam showed that change, though challenging, can be a source of immense good when driven by sincere intentions and compassion. As time passed, Maryam remained a humble servant of the community. At the mosque, she taught Islam to those who wished to learn not by force, but by simply sharing the truth she had found in the Qur'an. Masjid Maryam became a beacon of hope and light, illuminating the lives of many seeking a path to truth.